Adding motion to your presentation is a great way to capture your audience attention. You can easily do this by using animations. If used effectively, animations can add great focus and emphasis to your slides. Now I'm going to show you how you can add different types of animations to your text and objects. I'll show you how you can change the settings of the animations to get the result you want. And finally, how you can use the animation painter to copy animations from one object to the other. Here I have a presentation for a company meeting. I want to add some animations to these slides so that I can focus my audience attention on the item I'm currently speaking about. On this first slide, I have the agenda. Instead of showing the full agenda all at once, I want each slide item to appear when I click as I walk the audience through the agenda.
Hi, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to let you know that if you're annoyed by the ads in this video, you can access our tutorials ad-free by getting a subscription to businessproductivity.com or signing up for one of our many courses on platforms such as Udemy, CyberU, and Vimeo on demand. I also wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a bit more about Storyals. Storyals, which stands for Story-Based Tutorials, is our video package offering for organizations that want to increase employee productivity using Office 365. With Storyals, organizations can inspire, motivate, and educate users on effective use of Office 365 by showcasing real-life best practices. Finally, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channels, Business Productivity and Storyals. Here you will also find my video blog, Succeed in the Digital Workplace, as well as other videos that can help you increase your productivity. If you have any questions or comments, please post them here and I'll do my very best to get back to you. With that, let's go back to the tutorial. Thank you for watching.
To apply animation to text, mark the text box and on the Animation tab, click Add Animation. The animations are grouped into 4 different categories: entrance, emphasis, and exit animations, and finally motion paths. Here, I want to apply an entrance animation. Let's apply the fade animation. When you're working with animations, I recommend that you open up the animation pane. On the Animation tab, click Animation pane. I'll click the little arrow to expand the group so that I see each row separately. When you add animation to your slide, a little star will appear next to the slide in the thumbnail view. You'll also see numbers next to the text showing the order they'll appear in. You can easily change to another animation by just selecting one in the animation gallery. Here, I'll change to wipe. But instead of having the text wipe up from the bottom and up, I'll click Effect Options and select from left. To preview your animation, you can click the play button in the animation pane, or to see them live, click to start the slideshow. Now, the agenda items appear one by one, just as I wanted. On the second slide, we have our company identity with our values. I want each circle containing a value to appear as I mention them. To apply animation, I'll mark the circles while holding down Control on my keyboard. Make sure to mark the objects in the order you want them to appear on your slide. I'll click Add Animation, and here I'll select the Zoom animation. Now, all the circles will appear all at once, but I want them to appear one by one. So having the animations marked in the animation pane, I'll go to the Start drop-down menu and select On Click. Now you can see that the objects will appear one by one in the order that I want them. Let's look at this again in slideshow mode. Perfect. On this next slide, I have a chart with the financial results. Here, I want to add some suspension so that I show the bars one at a time. Finally, I want to show the total planned result and the actual result with a little effect to show that we performed much better than planned. To add animation to a chart, mark the chart and click Add Animation. I'll apply the wipe animation, which is good for charts. The direction is automatically set to from bottom, which looks best when you have standing bar charts like this one. But now I want to change the animation so that the whole chart does not appear all at once. Under Sequence, I'll select By Element in Category. I'll expand the animations by clicking the little arrow, and then I'll play the animation to see what it looks like. As you can see, the chart grid lines and legend are animated, which I don't want. So I'll just mark the first item in the animation pane and click Delete on my keyboard. Now for the text bubbles. The first one, I'll just add a simple entrance animation for it to appear. I want it to appear after the total plan bar, so I'll just mark it in the animation pane and drag it up and position it under the 7th bar animation. I'll click on the little arrow and select to have the animation start after previous. For the second bubble showing our great results, I want an entrance animation with more emphasis. I'll click Add Animation, More Entrance Effects. Here I'll choose Float Up. I'll change the timing of this one as well to have it start after previous. There, now let's see how this turned out. I'll show the bars for advertising, training, consulting, and then finally the planned total result of 400 and then our actual result of 510 rising up. Great! On this next slide with the priorities for the coming year, I have a lot of objects and a lot of text that I want to animate. First, I want to show the group called Quality Content with the 3 elements. Next, I want to show Customer Contacts with a similar animation, and then finally the Reach. Let's go to the slide and start adding these animations. To see the objects on the slide, I'll go to the Home tab and click Select and then Selection pane. Here I can see all of the objects and the order that they're in. I'll close down the thumbnail preview to get some more space on the screen. I want to start by animating this first priority group. Instead of marking the object in the slide, I can go to the selection pane and click on the object middle green here. I'll go to the Animations tab, click Add Animation, and add the fade animation. Next, I'll mark the green circle in the selection pane, click Add Animation, and select Zoom. I'll change the timing to start after previous. Finally, I want the pieces of the circle to appear, so I'll hold down Control on my keyboard and then mark them in the order that I want them to appear. I'll add the fade animation. I want them to start after one another, so I'll change the timing to start after previous. Instead of manually applying animations all over again, I'm going to use the animation painter to copy the animations to the 2 other priorities. To copy animations from one object to another, you need to click on the actual object in the slide, so I'll close down the selection pane. To use the animation painter, first mark the object with the animation you want to copy, then on the Animation tab, click the Animation Painter. You will see a little brush next to your mouse pointer. Now point to the object where you want to apply the same animation. Now I'll just go one by one and apply the same animations. There. Now let's have a look at this. First priority is Quality Content, then Customer Contact, and finally Reach. Perfect. I'll open up the thumbnail preview again and go to the last slide. On this last slide, I want to show that if we're all aligned with our priorities, we can reach our goals. I'll go back to the previous slide and mark the priority circles by holding down Control, and then I'll copy them by pressing Control-C on the keyboard. I'll go to the next slide and press Control-V to paste them in. I'll remove the existing animations by marking them in the animation pane and clicking Delete on my keyboard. To apply a custom motion path, mark the object, click Add Animation, scroll down to Motion Paths and select Custom Path. Your mouse cursor will turn into a cross. Position the cross where you want the animation to start, then click the left mouse button multiple times along the motion path you want to create for your object. To end the motion path, double-click. I'll add the same custom motion path to the other circles. I'll mark all the custom paths and then change the timing to start with previous. Now I also want the circles to become smaller and smaller and finally disappear into the net. So I'll mark all the balls, click Add Animation, and select Grow Shrink. I'll click Effect Options and choose Tiny. I want this to happen at the same time as they're moving into the basketball net, so I'll change the Start option to With Previous. Finally, I want them to disappear, so I'll click Add Animation again, and from the Exit group, I'll select Disappear. I'll change the timing so that this animation starts after previous. Okay, let's preview this and see if we got it right. Great! We are done. In just a few minutes, we have added animations to our presentation to captivate our audience.